We got a bunch of comments already in the chat. We got Eric Isaacs with us as always. He says, "Hey THH fam, what was the most confusing thing in wrestling this week? Thunder Rosa's chair spot, Nia Jax's annihilator, or Rock wanting Cody's soul?" The one that warped my brain the most was definitely Rock wanting Cody's soul. The Nia Jax one is just, it's like, Nia, you got to do better. You got to do better, homegirl. And then the Thunder Rosa, yeah, that was confusing as hell as well. Well, what would you say, Josh?
I mean, why is this even a question? It's easily fucking Dwayne. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Fair. That is fair.
Could have said that. Could at least sent that in the super chat. What the fuck was that?
We got Davion who says, "Good morning, THH crew. Can't wait for y'all to shred this disgusting and horrid episode of Friday Night Middown. Hashtag go back to 2 hours." Like this was like the culmination of all bad 3-hour SmackDowns that we've gotten since January 3rd. And then they gave us the worst episode of WWE TV since Vince McMahon was in charge.
I would agree.
Like it honestly, I had a whole debate this morning with my Daily Boys brethren, Alex McCarthy and Sat Iniangi. And Alex was like, "Oh, I didn't think the Raw on Netflix was atrocious. It just wasn't that good." And I was like, "No, I did think that the Raw on Netflix was atrocious. Now I just think the Raw on Netflix was a bad episode. This was atrocious. This was horrendous last night. Like it made me re-rate the Raw on Netflix. I was like, the Raw on Netflix, actually not that bad. It was an infomercial for wrestling, so I graded it on a different curve. This was horrible last night.
Yeah, and it's crazy. The show itself just felt like it was like thrown in last minute, and it showed. It completely showed within the segments. It showed within the pace. Because the pace was all over the place. Like the pace was, I don't know what the fuck was that.
That was the worst pace wrestling show. Like even worse than some of Tony Khan. Because Tony Khan doesn't know how to pace his shows too well. But this was worse.
Yeah, and then there was a part where I knew something was wrong. Like where it went to commercial, came back, a segment, then a commercial again.
Yeah. We had that multiple times of video package, backstage promo, match coming up, commercial. They did that like 3 times last night.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time. We give people credit. It's been a long time before anybody ripped like an actual WWE show, because it's been a while, right? WWE has had shows that are like mid, right? They're not like good, but they're not terrible. And then he has shows that are like, oh shit, this was actually really good tonight. It was actually really fun. So it's been a while before anybody has like really ripped into an episode. And when I saw like some of the after shows last night, I was like, man. What was
that? So if anybody's wondering why I made this face, because you know what I did, Josh? I just looked up what cage match has this Raw.
Oh,
this SmackDown episode. 2.44 out of 10. Holy shit. This is by far the worst rated WWE anything in quite some time. Let me check. I want to see what did the Raw on Netflix premiere get? Let's go back to that. What did the Raw on Netflix premiere get? That got a 5.32. 5.32. And last night's SmackDown got a 2.44.
Seems about right.
Yeah, like this is like, I do agree with you. This is like the most universally planned episode of anything WWE has done since Triple H became in charge.
And I mean, hey, they had a good run. It happens. Right? When Dynamite has a bad show, people rip into it. No different. Should be no different when WWE has a really terrible show. This was a terrible show. and it's okay to say that it was terrible, like, because it was. Even a lot of people who are like very pro WWE did not like the episode, and they were very open about it. They did not like the episode. They didn't like it before Dwayne got there, and when Dwayne got there, they even disliked it even more. And that was the reason why they were really sitting there and watching. That was the part. That's why they were really watching. You know, it's crazy to me, but I'm like, you know, for me, obviously, I was keeping an open mind because I'm like, what is Dwayne gonna do, right? Now, I'll give him credit. He gave me some good laughs last night. I'll give him that. But the overall thing, I'm like, bro, what was this? Like, I know what he's trying to do, but I was just like, man, like, and his last few appearances on TV have not been good.
Nah,
like
this has been the worst of the way. This is the last two, the Raw Netflix premiere and this one. Like, he nuked the WrestleMania plans at Raw WrestleMania at the Raw Netflix premiere, and then this one, he's like, he brought some intrigue back into the road to WrestleMania, but it was just not a good segment. He just rambled on and on. We got our good brother Sir Mac in the chat from the Smart Psychology podcast saying red cups up from the smart side. What's poppin', fam? Good to see you. We got Justin Rich in the chat. A bunch of our friends throughout the channel in the chat today. Justin Rich saying he was drunk. The laughing emoji. The mana was flowing too much. This man rambled. He said be my champion like 8 times in the promo.
Yeah, it was just, I think that was the part that was kind of like over it for me, where he just kept repeating himself, because it was like, bro, like, we get what you're doing, we know what you're trying to say, but then it was just like, I don't know, it felt flat. Like, the whole thing just felt so flat. You know what I mean? At least like last year, right? Last year there was a lot of meaning, there was a lot of buzz, right? But the segments that he was doing were actually good. Even that segment where he went 40 minutes. That was a great segment. That was an overall great segment. This went 30 minutes and it was not good. And it seemed like more time went by, it got worse. Like, it felt like it was getting worse.
It was a 26-minute segment with The Rock in total, from The Rock's entrance to the end. We do have a couple of super chat donations to get through. Thank you so much, everybody, sending their love, sending their support with those super chat donations. First up, we got the King Ellie Show, who says, I need corporate Punk. I think McIntyre's would be too obvious. Yeah, I mean, the big question has become, like, with the whole segment that we saw last night, and we'll get into things when we're going to start off with SmackDown this week, that Rock is basically wants Cody to be his corporate champion. But no one, it seems like the vast majority of wrestling fans don't think that Cody is going to say yes at Elimination Chamber. They think he's going to say no. So therefore, who will become the Rock's corporate champion? And the most popular answers have really been either CM Punk or John Cena. So what would you say, Josh?
I mean, it's very easy. It will be CM Punk. He's already a corporate kiss ass now. Might as well.
I strongly disagree. I think the more interesting option is John Cena.
That would be,
it's the Holly. I know that was you talking shit about Phil, but I think the more interesting option is the Hollywood two-man power play.
It is Cena. Like, that's the most popular one, and that will get a lot of, like, you know, it will make WrestleMania more interesting, like, if you implement that aspect. Like, I mean, what Cena did at the end of Rumble, like that thing at the press conference, was good. And it had people talking about it, and it had people interested at Elimination Chamber. But the fact that he basically, you know, forced his way in, and then now you kind of have this aspect, it could work. Like, if you pull it off, it could work. And it'll be interesting to see how they pull that off. But yeah, I think Cena will be the smart move. You know, and also because he's not going to be doing many dates anyway, so you kind of, you know, bring him in and out. So I think that would be a good move. Now, is it something that Cena will want to do? I have no idea.
That's the caveat here. I think we got our third member of the team, but I see she keeps getting up. So give me a thumbs up when you're ready to come on. I'll wait for her to give me a thumbs up when she's all set and ready to go. There we go. Our third member of the team, the princess of all the true heels, is here with fireworks going off. Miss Krssi Love.
That's the thing. Oh my God! First of all, I didn't know that's the thing. I know you do the hearts, you get hearts. Now when you do thumbs up, you get fireworks. Great job. Hey guys, sorry for my tardiness. I got kids and stuff, and things be happening. Life is life. Yep. So the boss, The Rock, is in charge, and he's flexing all his power. Love it. Great job.
He is back, baby, to take some soul.
I know. I want your soul, bitch. That's what he should have said.
No. You should. I want your soul. I want your soul. Correct.
It's like, okay, Mark.
You gotta caress your own friend.
It's like, okay, Mark Calloway. Okay, Mark Calloway.
Okay. Gonna caress your face. I want your soul.
I want your soul. I didn't see anything else, but I saw that.
Yo, you bring up the other part that people went crazy about, and they were like, "What the fuck?"
What? What do you mean?
They pressed the pulse button when he kissed him on the cheek. Yo, man, people were just like, "Hey, yo, what's this?"
He kissed him on the cheek.
Hey! I'm not. Love is love. I'm a fan of love. Vala B with a super chat donation. Thank you so much, Vala B, for the support. He says, waiting for the David Lynch version of that segment. Cody looked like the shrooms kicked in. I like what came out of it, but the segment was ass. Yeah, that's the thing. Like that's the whole thing that people like this segment is very much a nuanced segment. It has layers to it. The execution and how it went down, yes, it was bad, but it has everybody talking about the possibilities for what this segment meant. So that in that case, it was good. It was both baffling and compelling at the same time. I've never seen a segment.
Yep. Exactly. And it was long and weird, but the information and the ending of what you got afterwards is what made the segment.
It feels like for the first time since like the road to WrestleMania was supposed to start at the Royal Rumble, I have some intrigue and I'm captivated about what's gonna happen next.
Right, because last week was like, fuck WrestleMania.
I was like, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting on it to start. I made the joke over on Wrestle Talk. I was like, I feel like one of the people, one of the contestants on the Traders UK who waits for the train to pick them up so they can go to the castle. But we're still waiting on the train. The train hasn't even came in the station.
It don't feel like the season, and we're at Elimination Chamber. We're a month away, guys. Like a month. No, not even 2 months now. Excuse me. Yeah. 2 months away from it, and yeah.
Sunny Nev saying, here from seeing you with Luke. Thanks for joining us. He says, I'm real interested in hearing your overall take of the show. I have a lot to say about this show last night. And I mean, spoiler alert, I think I agree with Vala B. Worst SmackDown in years. It just was. These 3 hour SmackDowns have been a drag, but this feels like the culmination of it. And they gave us he probably had plans going into this SmackDown, and then Dwayne said he was going to be on the show, so he ripped up the plans and couldn't come up with new ones that were better.
Yep. Last minute.
And I agree with I Make Beast. Luke is funny as fuck. Best on Wrestle Talk. He's one of my good friends from this wrestling media game. And we got another super chat donation from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. He says, good morning, THH fam. I may be in the minority on this. I'm at least intrigued as to if or how WWE works this. Suppose Cody heel turn angle. And yeah, I've been hearing like a small portion of the fans thinking that this will lead to a Cody heel turn. Krssi Love, what do you think about the potential of corporate heel Cody aligned with The Rock?
I wouldn't mind it, but I just want to know how it's going to be executed. I don't. Josh is like, hell no. He's like, nope. He's like, nope. Look at his.
It's not. And I'm saying no because it's not something that I don't want to see because I love Cody's heel work. If you watch Ring of Honor,
Right.
That's like
It's
that's
great work. Yeah. That's what
that's
made him
Pete
him.
Cody. That's
Yeah.
Pete Cody. The last the 6 years he was gone
Right.
from WWE, but because the way the business works now, it's just I don't see that being a thing
Same
unless
thing. They're gonna
I don't see that being a thing unless there's something that they do that could not only work, but it keeps Cody like on top. I just don't see realistically. I don't see it happening. I think it's gonna be somebody else, especially the way they kind of teased it. Imagine he ends up saying yes. It's gonna be even more kind of awkward because it's gonna be like, where the fuck does all this come from? Last year, he wanted to kill the man. He fucking annihilated him on that fucking Raw segment.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden they're like in this spot. It's just weird. It's like you know what I mean? Kind of like if Thanos or like Tony Stark joins Thanos, and it's kind of like, where the fuck did this come from? Like, why is he joining him? You know what I mean?
Tony Stark joined Thanos after Civil War when he found out that Winter Soldier killed his mom.
Yeah, I mean that would make more sense, but it was like
that would be
their mothers became friends, and then that was like,
yeah, I was like, he put the picture of them after WrestleMania. I was like, where's this going, bro?
I was like, what? I was like, he was like, it wasn't enough that he did the whole segment on the Raw on Netflix premiere where he said, "Oh no, we're friends now, we're cool now." I mean, he had to double down on it and have Mama Rose and Mama Rock posing together.
Yeah, and then it's like every segment.
You came to Moana. You came to Hawaii for the premiere, like, bro.
Right. So like,
okay.
And then also,
what else you want to tell us?
Yeah, and then for me, like, for me is like also like every time they're together, right? So every time like The Rock and Cody's together, right? Obviously, you always see The Rock like little bros, Cody, right? But my thing is, it's not even just like a normal little bro thing. It's like The fucking Rock is like big brother, like completely. Like The Rock is like 30, 40 years old, and while Cody is like 5 years old every time they're in the ring. Like even yesterday, his facial expression.
He just has to listen to The Rock go on and on and on.
Like even the facial expressions where he was just like about being like my champion, and then you see like the Cody's face, like he's kind of like quote unquote blindsided, and it's just like, bro, the fuck, like what are you doing? Like he's fooling you, and you don't even see that. He's fooling you. The Rock is an actor, people. He's fooling you.
The Rock actually had a press conference after Friday Night SmackDown because that's exactly what we needed is more Rock. The Rock said that this segment with Cody Rhodes on SmackDown may not even lead to a match and discussed New Orleans hosting WrestleMania 42. The final boss appeared on the WWE SmackDown press conference, introduced as TKO board director Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He spoke about his WrestleMania announcement, his segment where he said he wanted Cody Rhodes' soul. On his segment with Cody Rhodes, The Rock said, "With Cody, oh, I love that. I gotta tell you, for those of you guys that don't know, I grew up in the world of pro wrestling. My dad, my grandfather, and to be able to come back in this way as the final boss and to be able to get in the final boss skin, basically talking like he's Dwayne Johnson and he's just playing a character. And being able to become that in this venue here in New Orleans, like it's like if I was in a car and I'm becoming Luke Hobbs, when I'm in that Luke Hobbs skin in the car, it's great stuff." And really, he says, "I think take the audience on a fun experience and ride where I'm singing, I'm dropping the announcement of WrestleMania. Here we come, 2026. I'm singing, oh, when the Saints come marching in. Then I tell them, you can't sing with me." Then Cody Rhodes come out and offer him this big ideology of, you are our champion and you're amazing, but I want so much more for you. And then at the end, the final boss says, "I want your soul." And I think that what that does in this wild, crazy world of pro wrestling is that, to me, it just becomes something that's unpredictable. In the world of pro wrestling, as we all know, everything will culminate to a match. Whatever happens, it will all end up in the ring. What I really love about this rare airspace that we've gotten to with the character of the final boss is like this white whale unicorn. With the final boss in Cody Rhodes, it's not about the WWE title. It's not about having a match. It's not about punching or kicking or bleeding or any of that. That is so a part of this world. It never has to culminate into a match. That's a really special place to be. I think like creatively and just think character wise, how much fun you can have. I grew up in the business, as did Cody. His dad and my dad were friends. They're no longer with us, but to be able to have a storyline with two characters who are very popular, to never have to get in the ring or for a match, and but still hold this really unique, compelling, and off-putting kind of weird. He wants his soul. What does that mean? I loved it. I loved every minute. And Cody did too as well. We had a few tequilas after tonight. The Rock revealed that the announcement of WrestleMania 42 coming to New Orleans was originally scheduled to take place during Super Bowl weekend. He said and I'll share this with you. Rock began. We were going to be part of Super Bowl and make the announcement at the Super Bowl that we were coming here to New Orleans. We had a couple of hiccups that we couldn't make that happen, but in any event, we're here now. And the improvements made to the dome played a great factor into what we're doing. WrestleMania 42 will take place on April 11th and 12th, 2026 in the Superdome. Excuse me, sounded like Hulk Hogan. And then Fightful Select had a breakdown of this Rock and Cody segment. Fightful Select was told by sources close to the situation that creative was told just a few days ahead of SmackDown, with it being a shock to many in the company. The Rock was going to appear. The Rock appeared and announced a number of things: WrestleMania 42 in New Orleans, that he wanted Cody Rhodes' soul, and that he'd be at Elimination Chamber to see if Cody would give him said soul. As far as future plans, it's still working to learn how it affects things. Cody versus John Cena had been in the plan since late last year. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, and later Reigns, Punk, and Rollins had been planned at various points as well. Back in October, WWE Creative was preparing stories as if The Rock would not be available for WrestleMania, and that continued all the way up until this week. At one point, a top talent had joked to Ibu of WrestlePurist and of Self-Made PW that WrestleMania was at the mercy of Dwayne, as he'd mentioned on the post Raw podcast for Fightful. As of last evening, ahead of SmackDown, Cody Rhodes was already pulled from the main event of SmackDown, which was reflected internally. Those that Fightful spoke to internally say that this all came together very late, and even they hadn't been told what the direction was. Christian Savolo was listed as the writer for the segment, who does most of Cody Rhodes segments. Michael P.S. Hayes was listed as the producer, and despite the listed writer, The Rock does not have to follow a strict script, in case you were wondering if any of the fucks were scripted. So, the big question is, what is the direction now? What direction is this all gonna lead to? Do you think that we get corporate champion Cody Rhodes? Do you think that Cody Rhodes is gonna say no at Elimination Chamber? And if he says no, will The Rock recruit someone else to be his corporate champion? And who would that person be? And who do you think would be the most probably interesting or intriguing person to be The Rock's corporate champion instead of Cody? We'll go to you, Krssi. What do you think?
I think he should do it, change it up a little bit. But if he doesn't, meaning Cody should, I think he should say yes. Be in the company's pocket. You want to stay champ? This is what you gotta do. Sell your soul to the devil. Like now, if he doesn't do it, which he probably won't, because he's gonna be boring. Boo. It won't be Punk. Maybe it would be Cena to ride it out and just leave. Something different for him. He's retiring anyway. So what else does he have to lose?
I said earlier, like, John Cena is the most interesting option to do because that's something that nobody called. Nobody called, especially for his retirement run. People are thinking, oh, Cena gets to ride out into the sunset.
Right.
They're going to cheer his name and stuff. He's leaving and stuff. Why? But why not tell one last great John Cena story by having him finally become that desperate to get number 17, to that desperate to win a damn matchup that he aligns with The Rock to win that set number 17.
Yep. He has nothing else to lose. He's going to retire, so you might as well say, you know what? Let me just ride off and be a bad guy. Let me be the corporate guy. I need number 17 to put on my legacy. Let me be a badass and let me sell my soul. Fuck all you guys. Because you let me lose in the Royal Rumble anyway.
There's a lot of people that's already like comparing it to possibly like a Austin Vince type of thing, and you know that has a big connotation around it because that's considered one of the biggest business fumbles that WWE ever did because Austin was their top guy. Turning him heel did affect their business significantly. John Cena isn't that guy anymore, though.
No. He's really not.
He's so far removed from being that guy. Yep. And you have this whole company has become a baby face company. How many times have we counted the amount of over baby faces on the roster? Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Randy Orton, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Seth Rollins. Like the list goes on and on. Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns. I didn't even mention Roman Reigns.
It's probably some more.
On and on and on and on and on and on. You can go for days, but the one thing that they don't have is a very protected heel to be the force for all these baby faces to fight against.
Yep.
The top heel in this company right now is Drew McIntyre, but that's through the great work. That's through the great, and Kevin Owens as well. Yeah, Kevin Owens is right up there with Drew, but that's through the great work of them. That is not how the company has presented them. The company has made them losers. Like Drew McIntyre lost his feud to CM Punk. Kevin Owens never beat Cody Rhodes at all.
Yep, it's because they kept losing. That's what made them go crazy and berserk because you kept making them be losers. And it was like, why do you guys praise these people? We're the ones that's putting in all the work. Why do you praise someone that's not even here? So they became good bad guys because you guys made them losers. And you wouldn't let them be the top guys. So it was like, okay, let's be bad guys then.
And then Drew lost to Tito last night, so it doesn't help.
He just called Jimmy Uso Tito.
He called Jimmy Tito. I'm done. Okay. Josh, you're on timeout.
I mean, on the bloodline OG, right? He's talking about the OG bloodline. He's definitely Tito. He's the last one. He's the last good member of the OG bloodline. And technically makes him Tito.
Right, because Sammy is before him.
Well, and Sammy still hasn't beat Drew. We need Sammy to finally beat Drew now. So because everybody else, you have to be Samoan to beat Drew, apparently.
Oh shit!
You know what? Okay. All right. You another one. This is not gonna. This right now. Okay.
They have to be of Samoan descent to beat Drew.
You gotta take a blood oath. We gotta take a blood oath somewhere.
You gotta cut your finger and rub it against someone else. Sammy didn't do that. Sammy didn't take the time to make the blood oath, so that's why he can't beat Drew.
He said respect. Please, they don't even respect Big Jim. The fuck is a Big Jim?
Big Jim.
The fuck is a Big Jim?
They was trying to throw that nigga down our throats, but no, like, no, you don't want to believe me. I've been saying it for the fucking longest.
I mean, they're trying to, but you know what it is with him? It's like, even though like he won last night, but it's like with him, he's kind of like in this realm where it's like they're stagnant, where there's no real storyline with him,
Nope.
like because the bloodline stuff is like I don't know where that went. So he's kind of just there at the moment, and it that's why it's one of those things where he's in a weird spot. Because at least with Jay, right? Jay has the main event, but even if Jay didn't win the Royal Rumble, Jay would still be in a prime spot because it's Jey Uso. Like that's kind of like it is.
He's so over. They're gonna do something with him. But we kind of asked the question earlier to you, huh?
You said who's so over Jay? Oh yeah.
Jay's over.